He actually won. In his rookie year at just 17 years old, the youngest to ever do it, the youngest to get an MVP award for it, and the highest rating for that MVP, even beating out the likes of Simple. The Destroyer, the devil himself, Donk 666, has not only already won his first major, but has done it better than anyone else before. And maybe we shouldn't be surprised.
Gamers, you feel that in the air? It's the holiday season, baby. And thank goodness, because I've pretty much lived in a plane this year, and working on the road is hard. But thankfully, we've teamed up with Acer, who will help me stay productive while I kick up my feet a little during the festive period. This year, I decided to pay a visit to my fellow theScore esports coworkers up here in Canada. But when we're not catching up playing games, I still need the ability to be creative on the go. And the Acer Swift 16 AI laptop is absolutely perfect for that. On top of having a beautiful Acer Cinecrystal 16-inch multi-touch OLED display, this laptop is powered by an Intel Core Ultra 7 processor, which uniquely leverages AI technology to make every task you can imagine lightning quick. Whether you're trying to hit a tight deadline or beat a final boss, Copilot Plus PCs like the Acer Swift 16 AI totally change the game. And most importantly for travel, it is so thin and light, 3.37 pounds to be exact. Or just over 1.5 kilos if you're my Canadian coworkers. And so now Workaholic Liz is able to never stop working, no matter where I am. Imagine what I could do with that power. Anyways, happy holidays, y'all. Let's get back to the video.
First things first, what a major. As a spectator, it seems like Perfect World and PGL did a bang up job. I know it seems like they focused on the fans less at this tournament, but they still seemed super into it, which is great. But when you get playoff matches like that, it's kind of hard not to be. All right, we got to get into the grand finals, but I need to shout out these amazing series we got to watch and the individual moments in them. They really stood out this year, so let me just run down the list. Maus versus Mongols. First off, it was really cool having an Asian team in their first major playoffs and doing it in Asia. Obviously, things didn't pan out quite the way everyone wanted to, but still very sick. They were dealt a tough 2-0. Despite starting strong on both maps, they let Maus back in each time and never seemed to fully recover or mount momentum. Still, them making it this far is really good for their region, and it's a lot of pressure for such a young team in their first at-bat. Same can be said for Maus, who are quite young themselves, and I'm sure it does feel good for them to finally make it past the first round, but I'm sure they're looking towards the future with a very clear plan of what they want to do. Now, moving on to some more heartbreak, Liquid v Spirit, another 2-0, and again, both were pretty close, but that indeed only counts in horseshoes. A lot of people are struggling what to take away from this result, including myself. For starters, it's great that Twist managed to make it to a major playoff as a first-time IGL, but as many say online, an okay result can be the worst thing to happen for a middling team. And there has to be some change somewhere. Most of these guys just didn't show up to support their captain, and that's especially true on Dust 2. Twist played his heart out to keep his team in it to the very last second.
40 seconds, spams away, connects onto Zontix. Twists, guarding Naflight, 9 bullets, stands to deliver, but here comes Donk, the round the world, on long, exposed, 9 shots, Twist stubborn, holding on, trying to fight back the captain, into brilliant, to keep this ridiculous comeback going!
Unfortunately, that wasn't enough. Yakindar going -11 isn't going to cut it for a major winning caliber team. He knows it, the org knows it, it's just a matter of where he goes and who they can get. Now, on the other side of the bracket, we got to see G2 versus Heroic, and finally got to see all 3 maps. And boy, am I glad we did. Not only were we able to see Nico play out of his mind, but a beautiful performance by Malbs on stage at his first ever major. Listen, Nico practically got G2 to Mirage, but when he went missing on the 3rd map, Malbs not only stepped up, but pulled off the clutch of a lifetime in OT that ended up being the catalyst for their win.
Now it's Malbs. It is he who put them here to begin with. The 3rd piece of this success story from G2.
And Malbs has a chance now with Nerds going down. First tap comes through, double push happening. He's gonna hear this 12 seconds.
They gun him
Can
down.
Blindfold fight?
Oh, certainly can. Undeniable.
And shout out to the person in my last video who reminded me that Malbs is technically North American. We all know that G2 is cooked, so put this man in a Liquid jersey immediately. Anyway, wrapping up the quarterfinals was FaZe and Vitality. Now, I might be out to lunch with this take, I usually am, but I kind of felt like FaZe had the toughest path to victory in this major. Despite being runner-up in Copenhagen and getting that IEM win, FaZe have had an up and down year. They've always been competitors, but there were definitely questions surrounding whether or not changes could be made to improve this roster. Suffice to say, I thought Vitality was a lock. Trust me, I didn't want them to win, but I thought it was a betting man's choice. But again, Kerrigan and co proved me wrong, and I'm so glad they did.
Still that defensive util to be deployed. Spinks is holding on to his, and now it's been too late. Robs is ready to flood it in. Problems! Problems! Oh, the Tech Knights! They fill the feed! It's Rain and Rob side by side. It's starting to feel like a problem for them. It's collapsing one by one! No longer fantasy! FaZe Clan 2 frags away from knocking out Vitality, who up until today did not taste defeat, did not feel it, no time, no hope! FaZe Clan! Truly miracle run!
Actually, they didn't just prove me wrong, they made me feel a little foolish, because after beating ZywOo, who's pretty well at the top of his game and supported by some of the most consistent players right now, they did it again. This time against m0NESY and NiKo to make it to back-to-back major grand finals.
With everybody asking the question, how can Donk be #1 if you've got someone like NiKo? But here he is, getting erased one more time.
Reinvented for this major. Lines up one, but doesn't get greedy.
Soon we'll find out if there's still 3 fingers on this hand. Rain catches Hunter.
Brokey, confident, as he has all his teammates still behind him. And in the last attempt for G2, it is flawless from FaZe.
I really don't know what happened to G2 here. I mean, Scrawny said it best. Mobs struggled, yes, but NiKo and m0NESY, 2 of the best players on the planet on the same team, did not show up. I thought this was NiKo's chance. With m0NESY as impressively consistent as he's been, I really thought this was NiKo's chance at a major. And how fitting would that have been as his last hurrah with G2? But it just wasn't the case. Seeing Mobs in tears after hurt. It's his first time facing this kind of heartbreak. But NiKo, that hit different. He's been in this position so many times, arguably no one more deserving than him. But again, it slips away. As much as no one really wants to see it, including Pasha Biceps, who's urging him not to go, NiKo's time on G2 is pretty well done. What that means for m0NESY, I don't know, things are still a little cryptic, but it's sad. It feels like the end of something that somehow barely got a chance to start. Now, that would hardly be the end of the tiers for this major. Despite having an uncharacteristically poor showing in Nuke against MOUZ in the semis, Donk was able to bounce back with the help of Magics and Shiro to secure a spot in the finals. The last time these 2 teams met in a major, Kerrigan's experience was able to beat Donk's raw skill. Would it be different this time? Well, with a big help from Magics, the series would kick off in favor of Spirit.
He seems aware of the possibility. Kerrigan continues his crawl, has to hit this, and Magic's done. Lovely work, Spirit clean. It's good, Magic's not ready for it. Frozen falls, empty-handed. It's only one from Robs, and defending the side valiantly, Magic's again passes the test. Kerrigan trying to play close quarters now, they're trying to pop, and into the top side, successful. Magic's down, big one back. Rain delivers, pushing out, Donk goes searching. Rain on the edge of that smoke, but they're coming from every angle. Donk goes behind Rob. Oh, the one as well. It's up to Rain to save FaZe. Dips away for the reload. It's up to Chopper. Can Rain extend? Oh! He can't touch it. Chopper closes out that one.
Listen, Donk was no slouch on Nuke, but Magics came out with a sleeper performance that carried throughout the finals. Unfortunately, however, that wouldn't be enough to close things out on map 2, with Frozen and Robs propelling FaZe to an even more convincing win. Still, we need to shout out Magics for that self-made, actual king shit.
Single map of this major grand final. And that's it. Magics takes himself out of the round. FaZe Clan back on their bullshit.
This meant that we were going to map 3, and what a better place for the old guard to battle against this new era of Counter-Strike than the perennial Dust 2. And it wouldn't be a major without some drama. Spirit came out hot, taking the first half 8-4, and things didn't get much better, with Spirit getting to map, series, and major winning point, leaving FaZe with only 5 rounds. But FaZe just wouldn't give up, and they managed to mount a comeback that culminated in what may be the single greatest round in recent memory.
Swing it in, Donk is blind, can't connect! Kerrigan in trouble now. Do you fight? Do you run?
They're in
He
limbo.
opts for the fight. He opts for the fight, and Magix will punish. FaZe can. Oh, Brookie missing his shot. Spirit, they're doing it. 2 frags away from the organization's first major. It's just Rain and Robs. 2 versus 4. Couple of clicks to the mouse, and it's a quick one tap to Zontix. Nice. Oh! Jumping, no scope. Rain and Rob refuse to surrender. Magix recovers the orb. Spots that one. Good he transfer. Oh my God! 3 points of hell. He dinked him. Rob refuses and forces the final round of regulation.
A jumping no-scope to keep your team's major dream alive is absolutely insane. Rops laid it all on the line for FaZe. But against Donk, even that will never be enough.
Zontix has to pick his moment, find his chance, and he has struck brilliantly onto Rain. It's collapsing around them. Kerrigan and Brokey, it comes down to the 1v1. It's overtime. Denied! Regulation converted! This is their major! This is their history!
Shiro pulling off the 1v1, then pure elation. Magic's just sitting there, looking at the windscreen he's seen thousands of times over, taking it all in. And Donk, already walking over, hands in pockets, to shake hands with FaZe. F***ing insane. It was heartbreak for FaZe, of course. They put their all into this. I know that Kerrigan wanted to do this for his late brother, but I think we all know he's been proud of him well before any of this. Another major final at 34 with no signs of stopping. Kerrigan's impact on this game is immeasurable. As far as Spirit goes, listen, I mean, it takes a village. And Magic's performance was stunning. I legit don't think they win this without him. But the records that Donk has broken this year, and in this major alone, is generational. All the accolades I dropped at the start, plus the most aces in major playoff history, and probably a bunch more shit that will get pointed out in the days to come. I know he might, but I should have never doubted him as the #1 player this year, because this kid might end up being the greatest player of all time. With that said, shout out to FaZe, shout out to Spirit for a f***ing barn burner of a grand finals. Further evidence that CS2 is the most entertaining esport in the world, and it's only getting better. I hope you all enjoyed this year and are looking forward to the next. Let me know any of your personal highlights and any thoughts you have from these playoffs. It's been a ton of fun covering all of this with you guys, and I can't wait for more. I don't know if people got mad at it. I didn't look online at the Magic's self-nade, but I thought that was the coolest shit. He didn't have enough time to defuse, and there was like 3 enemies, so he just killed himself, like on purpose, which is like so funny to do in a major grand final. It's literally just like style points.